Hello, once again, welcome to the Facebook Live here in, my end, Kansas City. I'm the social little man, Joey Little, and thank you for joining me on the podcast and also on YouTube as our Facebook Live gathers an audience. Today's conversation continuing on a little bit from yesterday. Mabel, thanks for joining because I want to get your feedback on this one. It's a huge one. This is a big one today because my mind has absolutely been blown this morning by a car dealer, a general sales manager, a general manager. So I wrote it in the description of what the video is. Jeff, thanks for joining as well. If you're in the automotive industry, you will appreciate this today. It may make you cringe a bit. If you're not in the automotive retail industry, this still may make you cringe just a bit, but also apply it to your own workings or whatever you do, whether you work for. And thanks, Anthony Bush, just joining us and liking the video. Appreciate it. The guy that taught me in college how to take pictures with a camera, helped me with my photography. And so Camry, thanks for joining. Camry, all the way out in Orange County. Kenneth, thanks from Oklahoma City. You got to stick around for this, Kenneth. Today is a bombshell. I put it in the description for the video. But I could not believe what I heard today. So as we gain viewers, if you're in the automotive industry and and I have not mentioned you, retail side, just hit the like button so I know you're there. Diane, thank you. Diane, I think you're going to get a kick out of today's Facebook Live as well. So please stick around. I'm going to get as many people in here as I can, which is give me about 60 seconds, and we'll get going with this, all right? But blew my mind today. Early this morning, not even early, probably about a half an hour ago, I was approached by and I heard a phone call with one of our salespeople with a dealer. Now, whether this dealer was just being screwball-ish with, is that a word? with who was calling about services. Because we all know that car dealers love getting phone calls from third-party vendors, especially software vendors. I know you guys love it. You love it. Love it so much. As much as I love getting 750 follow-up phone calls from submitting a lead on somebody's website. So I guess it's karma on both sides, eh? All right, so here's what we were told. What we focus on, I'm just getting over the cold, like a lot of you are. What I was told today and what I heard is, if you don't understand what screwball-esque. Thank you, Joe. You put it in there. Screwball-esque. What I was told today, Irene, thanks for joining. Amy Jean is here. What I was told, it's like, come on, Joey, just get it out. We had mentioned the fact that what Auto Alert does is really we focus on the data that you already have inside of your system, and the automotive retail, a DMS, and other companies have it as well, a data management system, which is where every customer you've ever sold, where every service customer you've ever had, or every kind of piece of data that you need on your customers. It's not a CRM, which is a customer relationships management tool, which does take from the DMS. But the DMS, what we do is we scrub the DMS daily. We look and see customers that are inside your DMS. That when we bring in the incentives coming from your OEM, which is the original equipment manufacturer, whether it be Ford, Toyota, et cetera, for those not in the automotive industry, we match those up with customers, their payments, et cetera, and then we deliver a list and we deliver these alerts of customers that you didn't know that you could actually trade keys with, which basically means that a customer is not upside down in their vehicle because of the incentives or because of equity, et cetera, and we're able to let you know, hey, here's customers that you can call for a vehicle buyback and let them know that, hey, listen, you know, I see that you still have 30 payments left on your vehicle, or you have so many payments on your vehicle. I can get you in a 2017, whatever, for your 2013 or 14, no money down, taxes, everything paid. All you have to do is come into the dealership and swap keys. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you have an F-150 now, a 2013, I can get you in a 17 for the exact same amount of, that's what we do. There's a lot more to what we do, but it's a lot of data. So what we like to focus on, because we don't think dealers focus on that, is existing customers. Your existing customer database, because there is this obsession in automotive retail on new leads. I belong to a few forums online where in automotive retail, where a big conversation happens almost daily or weekly about how do we get more leads? What's the ROI on this lead provider? What's the ROI on this lead provider? What's, lead? It's all about the new customer. It's all about the new stuff, the people you've never sold to before. How can I get more of those people to shop for me when the attention on existing customer database that you've sold to before is completely being overlooked? And it's requiring the CRM, the customer relations management, automatic protocol, unless there's some really good dealers out there, which I know you are. I've seen you and we talk, that have a really good follow-up system. Are you using data in that follow-up system? Absolutely not. That's where we come into play. But this dealer, this car dealer, which will remain nameless, the dealership will remain nameless, actually told us, excuse me, dramatic effect, but actually coughing, that they do not allow, because we asked about service customers, Conquest customers. Now, Conquest customer is a customer that does service at your dealership but has never bought from you. Excuse me, I do have that tickle in my throat again from the cold that I'm getting over. A Conquest customer, and that's not just in, a Conquest customer is not just in automotive retail. It can be in any kind of, they do some kind of service with you or some kind of product with you, but they have never really bought your main product from you. In automotive retail, it comes down to this. They do service with you, right? But they've never actually bought a car from you. Let me explain that again. A Conquest customer in your automotive retail, you know this, is somebody who does service at your service department, but has never actually bought a vehicle from you. And they're coming in to do service with you. So you have new customers coming in, but there's nothing being done about that. There's nothing being done about taking whatever data is available on the vehicle that they're coming to service. So how easy would it be if somebody gets a, excuse me, a repair order, an RO, for $1,200 because of something, transmission or something that's going on, it's not covered by warranty, but yet you have data on them and incentives coming from the OEM that you could actually trade them out and get them into a different vehicle for the same amount of money, the same payments that they're making for the vehicle that they're driving. Who's going to write a check for $1,200 knowing that information? Not a lot of people. So this dealership that we just talked to on the phone said, I quote, "We do not allow customers who have not bought from us to use our service department." I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to slow it down just a little bit so it can soak in for all you car dealers that are out there. They do not allow customers with vehicles to use their service department unless they bought that vehicle from that dealership. This is exactly what they said. Yes, it's exactly what they said. That is the policy that they have. And they are very adamant about it because they use it as a selling technique, a closing technique for a customer. Listen, if you buy this car here, we got a service department out back that will take care of that vehicle under warranty. We're going to keep it with you. We're going to do it well. But, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go look somewhere else. I'm a tire kicker or whatever it is. Maybe I'm going to go get a third baseman or whatever it is. Then here's the deal. If you don't buy the car here, you can't use our amazing service department. What is this happening? This can't be, there's got to be just one dealership in the entire country that's doing this. Unfortunately, that's not true. There are more dealerships that have that philosophy because their mindset is focused on new leads and new leads only. New leads coming in. If we're talking to them a little bit more, it was very, very apparent that they only focus on new leads. They do not focus on retention. They do not focus, of course, on conquest. So here's my question. If I'm driving my vehicle and I've got a service light that comes on, and I'm not going to say what franchise this dealership is, but let's just call it a Mini, all right? Because, there's not a lot of those around. And I got a Mini, and my service light comes on, and that's the closest thing that's to me. If I take my vehicle there, they will not service it because I didn't buy it there. Seriously. So, what are they missing out on? I wonder how many cars they're selling a month. I wonder how many deals they're busting because of that philosophy that unless you buy from us, you're not going to use our service department. I don't even understand how that even comes up. I don't even know how that's an idea in a management meeting that, hey, listen, any ideas on how to sell more cars here? I got one. How about we tell our customers they're not allowed to use our service department unless they buy from us? Brilliant. That is brilliant. It's crazy, right? But it's happening. Retention marketing, retention is not where it needs to be. Now, I know a lot of you, trust me, because my mind didn't understand the retention marketing until I actually got into the data and looked at the software that actually does what it does. Can you do it on your own? If you know how to code and you have a lot of time on your hands, you can go through your database of customers that you've sold to in the past, and you can go through, and it's not about price of the vehicle. We are in a payments world. And we have been in a payment world for a long time. Just marketing has been focused on the $19.95, $29.95, but you also see $199 for blah, blah. So it is a payment-driven world. The fact that all of this data and all this that you have your hands on, that your dealership has your hands on, is not giving you the opportunity to sell to your sold customers. Now, I've talked to dealers that say that they have a really good retention, and how they do retention, and they do it by just what they think is good, by just banging the hell out of recently sold customers, just banging them up, just banging them with letters, with phone calls, with all this stuff. But really, it's not that way. It's not that way at all. It's absolutely not that way. And I'm not going to turn this into a giant pitch for Auto Alert and what we do, but it is confusing when you don't know what you don't know, and then all of a sudden you are shown the lights and you're like, holy crap, it's that easy. But I wanted to just get feedback from, what are you doing now for Conquest customers? What, and this can even be used for other verticals. Right hooking incoming. Yeah, there it is. I like the Vaynerchuk reference there. But what are you doing now for Conquest? Because this dealership is not doing anything for Conquest, because they don't even allow Conquest customers into their service drive. And how is the service drive making any money? How is that happening? Are they just giving it away? Do you get a huge price discount because you bought the car there? Of course, on warranty information. But how is it? They've got to be blowing smoke up our rears when they said this. It's got to be that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm gonna ask you, and think outside the industry. There's been situations before that his sales staff must suck if he has to rely on those tactics. It's from Mabel. Why is what I want to know? Why is what I want to know? I'm confused. I just got a brain fart there. I'm sorry, Diana. Understanding what you're asking, I'm sure that it's probably on my end. I don't read so well in the mornings. Don't read so good. But we're talking about outside the vertical in other industries. How can you get customers that are coming in? If you own a coffee shop / bistro, and you have customers that come in just to buy coffee from you, why are they not servicing other customers? Why they do that? Why are they not servicing other customers? Don't know. That's just what the statement was made when we were asking about conquesting customers. What are you doing with those that are coming in your service drive that that you can swap keys with because you've got the data on them, even though they're Conquest, because they've been doing service with you for a while, not even the same model. Even if it's the same model, it's even easier. Did you find out why? Usually they did not give up that information. They did not ask. What they did say, what he did say, I know that'd be the first thing you'd ask. What he did say, but you can't get blood from a turnip. What he did say is because they do not focus on existing customers, and they don't care about Conquest customers, because if they didn't buy from them in the first place, why would they buy from them now? And I believe that was the philosophy behind the fact of opening up their service department to other vehicles from other sold at different dealerships. Who are you talking to? GM, owner, service manager? Look at my bosses in here, a CEO. This was a conversation at Bixler. I was listening over Bixler, and I believe that it was a GSM, general sales manager, Mr. DeLay. And so I believe that philosophy is they're not going to waste their time even researching. And when asked, what do you do with your Conquest customers, or how do you conquest your service drive, or whatever those, it was said that was not a worry for them. So this was an objection that we tried to overcome. We did move it down to Pike Mike. It's still working with talking with the GM next. It's a philosophy that I think that when dealers don't understand it, the first thing is to do is push back. If you don't understand, if you're not progressive, or you haven't felt like you've been progressive, then your first thing is like, sounds so simple. It sounds so simple, something that I should be doing at my dealership or my business, that when I'm confronted with it, I feel silly, that I have not been doing it the whole time. So the first reaction that we will see is defensiveness. And I think that's what it came down to, was an 100% defensiveness due to being presented with something that seemed so easy. I will tell you this, here's that right hook, right? Here's the right hook after all this conversation about auto alerts. The thing about auto alerts is once you see what it does with taking your data and able to pull customers you never knew that you could just trade keys with, or let you know when a customer's coming up on warranty, or being able, at least if you have a high lease penetration, letting you know the customers that are going to that leases, they're going to overextend their lease and they're going to owe you a lot of money at the end, and you're able to switch them out and start a new lease with them, et cetera, et cetera. Just customers you've already sold to. Because it doesn't register until they see it, and then, why haven't I not been doing this? The same with one-to-one marketing. It's the same thing there too. You've got a dealership that's just been doing a lot of hope and spray marketing, been relying on a lot of letters coming out of the CRM for follow-up, retention. That's the retention marketing. Spent a lot of money on TV, on radio, et cetera, and didn't realize how easy it was to use the data inside their DMS to develop a statement letter that you can send to a customer, email and in the mail, with exactly what they're paying for their vehicle right now in payments. And letting them know, hey, listen, that 2013 that you have, that 2013 Nissan, we can actually get you into a 2017 Nissan for no money down at full MSRP too. This is full MSRP. We don't drop our pants when they get the message, but they didn't even realize that you can use the data that you have in your system to create a really one-to-one marketing message to every single customer. And this happens every single month. Imagine this. Imagine if you can get the incentives coming from the OEM, all the data that's in your DMS, and put them together and desk every single deal that you've ever had. Every deal, desk every customer, redesk every customer inside your database daily. And then here's the list of people. Call them, get them in the door. Or here, let's send them an email, a one-to-one piece that explains to them, you are paying $247 a month for your 2013 Ford F-150 weekend, or say it's 350 or whatever. Did you know, based off of Ford's incentive program for this month and your current APR, and for full MSRP, here is the 2017 Ford F-150 that I can get you into for the same amount of money, or maybe even less. Up to 10%. You can even move that up to 10%. So if it's $440 payment that they have now, and the new one's going to be, $40 more, you can still send them something, because most people, and it's a statistic, 76% of people would switch out of their vehicle every 3 years if they could. The thing is, they don't know that they can, because you don't know that they can. And this service department, or this company that is not worried about existing customers, or this dealership is not worried about existing customers, doesn't realize they can do that. Doesn't read it, and then it's, and then we get fought about equity, right? It's all about equity. Let me ask you a question. On a computer screen, if I showed you a customer that was, $1,500 in equity in their vehicle, right? Or if I showed you a customer that actually could get into a new vehicle for $15 less per month on their payments, which one of those customers are you going to call? Which one would you call first? And I'll tell you that 100% of the salespeople that we presented with that would call the guy that they can get into a new vehicle for $15 less a month on their payment than they would with the guy that's $1,500 in equity. Here's the funny thing. It's the same customer. It's the same guy. You've just been looking at it in an equity type position, and you got to stop doing that. So now's a big giant commercial for Auto Alerts. I appreciate it. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It's pretty awesome. Even if you're not in the automotive industry, meet me out for drinks. I'll get my computer out and I'll even show you guys how it works there too. It's pretty cool. Or if you're in the automotive. I will be in Atlanta, Georgia next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the Internet Battle Plan with Jim Ziegler, supporting my man Julian Johnston, Senior Director of Product here at Auto Alert. He'll be speaking about kind of what I've been talking about today. So if you're in the Atlanta area, please fill out. Mabel, I'm sorry that you're still in shock, but I appreciate all of you tuning into the Facebook Lives. Also, the podcast. So if you're still on the podcast, remember you can go to facebook.com/social little man and send me a friend request or do a follow, and you're gonna join in the fun. Mabel's in Detroit. Bixler's in. Bixler had the conversation. Hey, Delay's going to be calling you, bro. He wants more information on this. Just ridiculous what we heard today. So have a great day, everybody. All right. And happy Friday. Keep smiling.